Hey, gardening friends. This is part two of the fifth episode of my 52 Varieties in March series. If you missed part one, here is the thumbnail for that video so you can easily find it on my channel. In part two, we're continuing on with some uppotting, an update on my petunias, and I'm going to show and explain my easy go-to method for hardening off onions. Come along and let's get to it.
All right, friends. So now let's work on getting these Lobelia potted up because they are definitely ready. This is what they are currently looking like. Isn't that beautiful? I just love that beautiful shade of green. So pretty. And I actually have another tray of Lobelia sitting on the grow shelf, but those are not quite ready to be potted up yet. But these are definitely ready. So we're going to work on this right now. And if you've never grown lobelia before, I think that it is such an easy trailing flower to grow. It doesn't, it's not one that's very difficult to get it to germinate. It germinates quite easily and it grows so nice and lush. And even from a planting perspective, like it's very easy to maintain. It loves the sun. You can also plant it in areas where it can get partial shade, and it will pretty much bloom spring, summer, and fall all the way up to your first fall frost. And I am just looking forward to adding this to my containers as well as to my green stalk planter. Last year I planted some out in my green stalk planter, like at the very top tier. And it was just so pretty just to have like that nice trailing color of blue spilling over the green stalk pockets. So I'm going to plan to do the same thing. I also noticed that a lot of beneficial insects were attracted to it as well. I got a couple hummingbirds and some butterflies. So looking forward to attracting a lot more of those to my green stalk garden this year. All right, so let me adjust the camera so you can see a little bit better. So I'm going to be planting them in my 2.75-inch nursery pots. And now I usually, because some of these are pretty densely packed, some of the cells. So for some of these, I'm going to definitely split them up before I plant them. And then others where it's a little bit more sparsely sown, I'm going to kind of leave them intact. Now, as they grow over the next couple of weeks, they're going to definitely put on more growth. They're going to expand and get a little bit wider in these nursery pots. So when I get ready to plant them out, I will most likely split them again before I plant them into the containers or into my green stalk planter. And it won't bother them. They will continue to expand and put on more growth, which is one of the other things that I really like about this particular variety. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on this. So I'm just creating a few holes in the nursery pots just to make it a little bit easier to transplant these lobelia. And I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 nursery pots that I'm trying to utilize. And I think that that should be a sufficient amount. Let's start with this one here on the corner. Let's see what the root system looks like on these. Oh, it looks really nice. Look at that. See that root system? Beautiful. Amazing. All right, so this is one, because it is densely packed, I am going to separate it, and it won't impact the growth of the plant going forward. It's just going to continue to expand and put on more growth. So I'm just going to gently split it down the middle just like that. See? And we'll just plop those in like so. See? Look at that. I just love that green color. Like this shade of green is just, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And then this is what the other one is looking like. So I'm going to continue to work through this process. So I've got a couple more that I'm going to do the same in terms of splitting them because they are densely packed as well. Look at that one. Gorgeous. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? All right, so I'm gonna split this one. And I'm just like, peeling the foliage back to find a good space to separate. And then I'm just gently pulling them apart, like so. Look at that root system. Isn't that beautiful? And then just plop them in like that. Separate gently. See how easy that is? And the soil is a little moist. It's not like sopping wet. It's just a tad bit moist because I did water them yesterday, I think, or maybe it was the day before. So the soil is nice and moist, makes it a little bit easier to separate. I don't like to separate them. I don't like to transplant when they're like bone dry, and I also don't like to transplant when they're sopping wet. Like, I like to do it where they're somewhere in between. But that's what the next one, isn't that beautiful? Ah, that's so pretty. All right, couple more. But yes, I am curious and would love to know what you guys are transplanting at this point or potting up. And what seeds are you starting this week? Let me know in the comments. I love to know what you guys are potting up and growing in your grow rooms. So this is the next one. Isn't that pretty? And let's see. And then these next two are kind of sparse. They're not like as densely planted. So I think I'm going to leave this one as is because there's not a whole lot of, there's not a whole lot of foliage on that one. So I'm going to leave that one as is. And I think I'm going to do the other one the same way, which means I have the perfect number of nursery pots. Perfect number of nursery pots ready. This one, I could probably separate this one, but now with this one, I could probably separate it, but I'm going to leave it as is because I don't think that it's not as sparse as the last one I just showed you, but it's not super dense. So I'm going to leave that one as is as well. Pop that in. I just love this potting mix. It is so easy to work with from in terms of up potting. So easy to work with. It's just light and fluffy. And it gives you no resistance at all, when you're plopping seedlings into it. All right. That's all done. Look at that. We got all of those done. That was pretty easy and pretty quick. So yeah, I'm going to get these bottom watered, get some vermiculite on the top, get them on the grow shelf. And let me show you though, while I have you really quickly, I'm going to show you, I need to show you these petunias. Like these petunias are just doing amazing. Like they are showing out at this point. So, and I actually have a strong feeling that they're going to be flowering here probably within the next week or two. It would not surprise me, but this is, let me show you, this is the yellow petunia. So this is one of the first petunias that I planted. And this, I think I started this seed at the end of January. So this is the yellow petunia. Look at that. Like, look at, it's just put on so much growth this past week. Like, I feel like it's doubled in size. It's starting to even push out buds for flowers, which is insane. So I have a feeling that these are going to be flowering here pretty soon. So probably going to have to start hardening those off. If not next week, the following week. This one is the Carmine Valor variety, and this is one that I planted about a week and a half after the yellow petunia. So it's not that far behind, and you can see that this one is also starting to push out buds as well. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I can't wait. Like these petunias are going to be so beautiful in my window boxes this year. Can't wait. I'm absolutely, it's just, it's exciting. I can't wait. So, so yeah, let me go ahead and get the lobelias watered, and then we can have a quick chat about my hardening off process for onions. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using to harden them off. So I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I've got the lobelias hanging out behind me, soaking up some water. And I wanted to just quickly talk about how I'm planning to harden off my onions, at least the first round of onions that I started. Now, in terms of what I'm going to be using to harden off my onions, I'm going to be using a cardboard box. So I've already got it set up on my backyard deck, ready to go. And I like to use a cardboard box around this time of year when I want to harden things off and I'm not yet ready to set up my pop-up greenhouse. And I've used this technique many of times in the past. It works perfectly. So as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, the past week I've been monitoring the temperature and the sun exposure so that I know exactly where I should be setting this up on my backyard deck. So I've identified a spot where I'm going to put this out. And what I've done over the last couple of nights is I've set up the box in this area. I have my Govee outdoor thermometer set up inside the box so I can monitor the temperature during the day and at night to make sure it's staying, above freezing temps, and also monitoring like how warm it's getting inside this box during the daytime. This is actually the perfect time for me to start this process because the temperatures are starting to warm up a bit. We're supposed to be like in the low 60s to upper 50s over the next couple of days, and nighttime temps are not supposed to drop below like 39 degrees. So, perfect time for me to start this process. I am going to be monitoring the onions every day to make sure that they're not getting too warm, to make sure that they're not getting too cold. So what I would typically do is during the daytime, I make sure that the top of the box is open. The first day I'll place it in shade. The second day I'll put it in a spot where it can get an hour of sun, and then I'm going to put the box back in the area where it's shaded. The second day I'll do the same thing. I'll move it to the sunny spot where it can get a couple, maybe 2 or 3 hours of sun, and then I'll move it back into the shade. And I'll continue to do that and increase sun exposure, over a 7 to 10 day period before I get ready to transplant them in my onion bed. Now, during the evening time, I will close the top of the box just to kind of keep it insulated in there. So with this method, it's very important, obviously, to monitor the plants every day. So I'm going to be monitoring the temperature, making sure it's not getting too warm or too cold. If I find that the temperatures are going to be dropping low, I have frost cloth that I can use to give it a little bit of additional warmth or insulation. And I'm also going to be monitoring to ensure that it's not drying out and that it's sufficiently watered. As I mentioned before, I've used this method plenty of times in the past. It works perfectly if you're trying to harden off a small amount of plants and you don't want to take up a lot of space, or if you have a small amount of plants that you want to harden off and you don't necessarily have another place to put them, like a pop-up greenhouse or a standing greenhouse, or some other area where you can harden them off and you don't necessarily want to expose them right away to all of the outdoor elements. I think this is a good alternative, and it's worked out perfectly for me in the past. You just have to make sure that you monitor everything on a regular basis to make sure that it's not drying out, it's not getting too cold, it's not getting too warm, it's getting enough sun exposure. It's not you just have to make sure that you continuously monitor and make adjustments as needed, just to make sure the plants are thriving and that you don't lose anything in the process. So I'm planning to start the hardening off process tomorrow. So I will maybe show you guys what that looks like in my next video so you can kind of see that whole setup, and we'll definitely keep you guys posted on how that's going. But that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing with the onions over the next 7 to 10 days. They're going to be outdoors, and I'm going to keep them out there. I'm not going to bring them back inside. They're going to stay in this box, over the next 7 to 10 days. Now, if for some reason we're forecasted to get like really frigid temperatures or snow, then my plan is to just take the box and put it in my garage or in my shed and let it hang out there until all of that passes. So yeah, that is my plan for hardening off these onions. I'm looking forward to getting them outdoors so I can be able to get them transplanted at the end of next week or early the following week. So yeah, super excited about that. And that's also going to free up a little bit more space on the grow shelves for some more seedlings. So that is all that I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that you will come back for the next episode where we'll do some more seed starting. We'll do probably a little bit more potting up. We'll be doing some stuff outdoors. So I definitely hope that you will come back soon and check out the next episode. Thank you so much for watching and for all of your continued support. I so much appreciate it. I hope to see you all back here soon. Until next time, friends, take care.